There's a certain type of person in the spiritual communities that always end up being abused and taken advantage of. And the worst thing is that they are not even aware, not consciously aware of it. Um, but before we get to that, if you recognize yourself in that and you have that feeling that there's always something that seems off, and you have dealt with a lot of childhood trauma, you have dealt with a lot of issues in your life, you have seen things being mirrored and reflected into relationships when you became older and when you became an adult. And yet, there's still that feeling of something not being right. There's something off. And no matter how much you look, you cannot seem to find it in you. No matter how much you meditate, no matter how much you watch YouTube videos or read books or go to therapy or do anything, you cannot seem to really figure out what it is. Before we talk about that, I just need to backtrack a little bit. We have the four different type of nervous system: the fight, flight, freeze, and please. In psychology literature, the what I call the please nervous system is always called fawn. And I don't call it that because I don't recognize myself in the fawning. The pleasing is much more descriptive of how it feels. When we talk about the fawn, it's a bit like you just, admire and just adorn and you try to accommodate, and it sounds um, a little bit in my ears like, blaming the victim. And it doesn't really truly describe how it feels on the inside. And that is why I call it the please, because it is the people pleaser. It's the one that you grew up with learning how to read a room. You learned how to become a chameleon, become smaller, be less of an intrudence or obstructive, and trying to be more like Plato, to become the way that that you would be accepted and loved in your family. And by doing that, your boundaries were slowly chipped away. That is the person we're going to talk about today. And you, if you recognize yourself in that you are the people pleaser. You are the one that can see a need arise in other people before they can even see it, and you accommodate and make sure that they can be pleased in the best possible way to solve an issue, to solve a problem. And you're the kindest person on the planet. So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you. That is the takeaway that I want you to hear. I really want you to understand there's nothing wrong with you. The nervous system is created in our body and in our brain from the second trimester. So when you're still in the womb until you're 3 years old. That is when the HPA axis is built in the brain and in our adrenal glands. And if you get locked in a nervous system, which is very easy. I mean, if your mom is stressed, she produces more cortisol than a person that is not stressed, which is priming your receptors to stress, which means that you will basically be born with a nervous system that is ready to, hit the ground running, so to speak, from the moment you're born. Then in the milk, when you're breastfed, if you're breastfed, you have the same chemicals priming your nervous system to be in a certain way. And then there's the environment around you. If it's not a calm, conducive environment for a nervous system that can um, learn how to adapt in different situations, but it's just chaos, it's just dysfunctional from the get go. So if you come from a dysfunctional family, your nervous system is primed for survival in that dysfunctional family. And I'm not putting blame on anyone. Mom and dad tried their best no matter what they did. They tried to make things work. We all just want to be happy and be content. So I'm not putting blame on anyone. I'm trying to make you understand where you were created, in what environment you were created, and how your nervous system is created based on that environment. So you have both the in you the nature in you. Your nervous system is primed from the second trimester, and then it's primed even more with the nurture, with the environment around you. And that makes you prone to having one or all of the four different type of nervous system. There's the fight, the one that is fighting, the one that is always getting things done. These are the ones that we would like to be in a life-saving boat with, jumping off the Titanic, because they will find an island, or they will build an island, or they're the ones that always find solutions, that are the go-getters, the one that are always doing things. But they're also the ones that are sometimes too quick to dismiss, too quick to dismiss themselves and dismiss others. They're the ones that probably will never watch this video because this is too like touchy-feely, and they don't want to touchy-feel anything. They just want to keep fighting because that is where the survival is. The other type is the flight. That is the one that is always escaping. No matter what is happening, you always have a way out. You never go into anything that is um, closing the door to everything. You always have a door open just in case. You always have a way to escape. And it's also you that needs to go for a ride to calm your nerves, or uh, gather yourselves, or in any way compose yourself. That is the flight, the one that is running away. I can make other videos where I talk more. I have made lots of videos where I talk more about it in details. And then there's the freeze, and that is simply that you do not know what to say. You don't know what to do. You need like 72 hours to really figure out what you think about it. People ask you something on the spot and you cannot reply. You don't know at all. And those three types are intermingled and happening at the same time in us. We can only really notice when we downregulate our nervous system and get back into our body and feeling what is happening. Then we can see that we're like a puppet. We're like strings being pulled in us that makes us react in a very, very predictable manner. And that we do that in the lower fives. In the awakening curriculum, you have all the material you need to recognize yourself in your nervous system, recognize the words you use, which nervous system is pointing to, and then downregulate the nervous system. The last one the one I want to talk about today, it's the please nervous system. And that is the one that is you have no clear boundaries. You might even not have a clear feeling of a sense of self. You don't even know what you think about something. If I ask you what is your favorite color, and you say, "Oh, it's blue. I love the color blue," and I start to point out to you the color of green, how the color of green has a lot of blue hue in it, and then slowly get you into a more green color, and you will end up seeing that, oh, I actually really like the green. I really like the green. You're easily manipulated, and you're not even aware, because your boundaries are completely shifting with whatever is happening around you. This is a survival strategy. This is a way that you, from a very, very early age, learn to read the room so you would survive. You learn to be the helper, mom's helper, if when dad was cruel, or dad's favorite child when mom was in one of her moods. You were the one that was helping, and maybe you had younger siblings that you took care of, that you always had to make sure that they were happy. And you do that in your entire life. So when you stumble over spirituality and you hear that we are all connected, and you hear that we talk about that there's no separate self anywhere, you absolutely feel that. And you wish it to be like that. You wish to be connected with something bigger. You wish to feel that energy of the universe. And you might even start to get visions and to see things, and you can feel that heart to heart connection with other people, because it's part of your survival, it's part of your makeup, it's part of your blueprint. It is very, very easy for you to be intuitive because you were primed to be that from the get-go. You feel other people's feelings before they're even aware that they feel them. So it is, in a way, a superpower. The problem is that you don't feel you. You don't count at all on the list of things that needs to be felt or experienced or pleased or protected. All your energy and all your focus is outward. It's out there. It's out there. You're noticing everybody around you, not you. And that is where the problem starts for a lot of people when they start with the Awakening curriculum. In a way, the Awakening curriculum is created for healthy people that have been in therapy, that have seen through all of those things, and that can start to see on their own mechanism, how am I interacting in the world? And this is where you fall through the cracks all the time. Because you don't have clear boundaries, because you don't have a clear sense of self, it's very easy for you to just say, but there is no one here. There is no one. I don't feel like a separate self. I don't have the need, to be right. I don't have the need to say no. I don't have that need at all. We are all in one big family loving one another. And I agree, we are. But you need to love you, sweetheart. You need to have strong boundaries before you can even say that. Otherwise, you're just a smorgasbord. People can just take whatever they want, whatever bite they want. You freely give it up, and these are the peoples that are being exploited and manipulated in spiritual communities. We see it a lot with somebody toxic is coming into some spiritual community, and they talk and talk and talk and talk and share and share and share, and they keep talking about the hurt they have and the pain they feel, but there's no moving forward. There's no changing. Next week, it's the same thing. They talk and talk and talk again. Everybody around them are pleasing and trying to accommodate and trying to help out and be supportive and be the shoulder to cry on, and you know who I'm talking about. So I'm not talking about that person. Oops, sorry. I'm not talking about that person. I'm talking about everybody around that person. Because you never get to talk about the things you need to talk about. You never get to be met in your experience because there's no space, and you are happy to give up the space. If I put you on the point right now, you would say, "But I don't need that space. We don't need to talk about me. We don't need to address that. I'm fine." And I know you feel you're fine, but you are maintaining and you are defending a survival mechanism in you that never ever allowed you to be felt. You never allowed you to be seen. And I need you to do that. I need you to work with building strong boundaries to your preference. You need to find out, what is your favorite color? What is your favorite fruit? What is your favorite season? Do these socks feel nice? Or are they just the ones that you're wearing? I need you to start to be selective in what you want. I'm not talking about you becoming rigid. I'm just talking about you being clear on preferences that is arising in you. So you show you as much compassion, kindness, and love as you show everybody else. You're servicing everyone else. I would like for you to start service you. And the problem in the spiritual community is that the majority of people need to get out of their own way and start to see other people. The one that is fighting needs to see that you can meet the world with love and compassion. You don't have to defend yourself all the time. You don't need to see everybody as opponents in a game. The one that is flight, the one that is running away all the time. You don't have to run away. You can stay in your body, in the feeling that you have in your body. You don't need to run away all the time. The freeze, you need to learn that it's okay to freeze up. It's okay to sit and not know what to do. It's okay to feel that you're trapped in a corner. Those three types feel things. The please don't feel anything. You might feel discomfort, but you can manipulate yourself into that's okay to feel this discomfort. I don't really need to work with that discomfort. If that means that you cannot do what you want to do, I would rather sit with with that discomfort. You are the only one of the four types that do not feel. And I want you to feel. I want you to start to notice your body, start to notice discomfort. And when you say the word no, I know it's not a word in your vocabulary, and I know it's not something that you normally do. I would like for you to practice what that would feel like to say no, what it would feel like to say, my favorite color is blue. And when somebody's trying to persuade you into other colors, you can see the beauty of all the other colors. Your favorite color is still blue. So it's about building strong boundaries to what you want, what you prefer. But to do that, you need to know how that feels. And you do that. Let me give you some practical things you can do. Right now, I would like for you to connect with your body. And when I say that, I would like for you to make a deep breath in, hold it, and exhale, and hold it. And when you breathe like that, when you have an equal inhale, exhale, and a hold on each side, you're downregulating the nervous system. You're getting away from that fight, flight, freeze, and please, and just become present in your direct experience right now. And when you're here, I would like for you to notice anything in your body. What do you feel in your body right now? Might be your feet buzzing, might be your bum in the seat. It might be how your arms are hanging on your shoulders. And it might be nothing. You might not feel anything. You might feel immense pain because the body is trying to scream as loud as it can to get in contact with you. No matter what you feel, I want you to allow that feeling in the body to become bigger. You don't have to believe in the feeling. You don't have to make it into something it's not. I just want you to notice how that feels. And the next time you eat, or the next time you have a glass of water, or the next time you're tired at night, I want you to breathe like we just talked about with the inhale, hold, exhale, and hold, and then feel in your body how that feels. Is it pleasant, unpleasant, neutral? Most times you won't even be able to feel. Your body, depending on your age, the older you are, the more pain you will have if you are a pleaser, a people pleaser. You will have more pain because the body is trying to shout to let you know, I'm here. I need you to feel my boundaries. I need for you to learn when enough is enough. I need for you to start to please this way, not always please the other way. So pain is very often a part of being a pleaser. And it's only because your lovely body is trying to get in contact with you. So breathe into the pain. Allow the pain to be there and say, I hear you. I hear you. You're right. I have not taken care of you. I have taken care of everyone else. I'm always tiptoeing around other people to make sure that they are okay. And I love you for that. You're a lovely person for doing that. But please start to turn your direction towards you and your needs. Yeah. If you go to the Unfettered Mindfulness channel, there's so many inquiries and meditations you can do there. And if you stay here on this channel, on the Awakening Curriculum channel, there are so many lessons. I can warmly recommend you to start with the first lesson in the first fetter. Start from the beginning. And then have that focus on you being strong in your identification with you, what you want. So when I talk about that there is no self and there's no separate self, I know that it's easier for you to agree with and say, yeah, I know there's not. But I would like for you to discover where it actually is. Where do you feel like an I? Because in that, you will start to find the opposite of what we're doing with the curriculum. You will start to find the boundary around you, and those boundaries needs to become stronger. Yeah. Let me know how you get on. Thank you. We have created a course of our first Feta material. This course will walk you step by step through all of the ways in which identification is created and selfing happens. If you've been struggling to see through the self-structure or have that first awakening shift, this course contains hundreds of tools to help you discover the selfing mechanisms when they're happening, and then see through the illusion of identification that are created. Along with over 14 hours of videos, this $49 course contains a full book worth of summaries, extrapolations on the videos, written inquiry suggestions, and other text. So work slowly, leave time for integration. This is powerful material and it can be life-changing.